Good morning, welcome to the Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 11th of October. So why am I starting with the S&Ps from my Forex Outlook? Well, because look at that big drop. Well, that's the biggest drop we've seen for a long time. Way back until probably 2nd of 5th of January. So it's a significant sell-off point there. That we've seen there. That obviously having a knock-on effect around the markets, and we'll have a look at what those knock-on effects. This is mainly down to tech stocks apparently. There's money running into safety of the utilities, etc. There's a potential bounce off this move here, but we'll see what happens there. But for now, let's have a look at the currencies. So the euro dollar. Euro's making a continued bit of a recovery here. Ended up closing yesterday with a pivot swing pattern. The hammer worked out. We ran into the weekly pivot. Kept on talking about that. We finally caught it. It's then pushed up in, well, at the moment though, it might have pushed up a little bit too quickly. We'll see. It remains bullish here, and it's broken its put in a higher low, so it's broken that bearish trend that we were in for sure at the moment. It may have some further upside. However, there is an untouched daily pivot there. Any sell-off, I would look for that sort of point. I will say that price was pretty close to that pivot prior to the new day, and sometimes when you see that, it may have a slightly lesser chance of coming back for it. We'll see. But at the moment, higher lows, higher highs, it's erring on the more bullish side. In terms of where to go here, well, it's the probability of it pushing up much higher is not the best, but on the bigger picture, and forgetting the daily move, we could see a sort of a move back towards that 4-hourly 200, 100, 500 area, which I expect there will be some resistance around that 1620-ish area, 18 to 20. So that's where we are at the moment, erring on the bullish side, but watch out for any retracement back to the daily pivot. The pound. Let's have a look at the pound here then. The pound has remained relatively bullish, and well, it did a little pitch off, but earlier in the week it's now yesterday found a bit of support off its 4-hourly 8, which then saw it reverse, and it's been pushing up pretty solidly, but a bit of a reversal going on at the moment. And again, daily pivot sitting there below, which may become the target for that movement. So it is putting high lows, higher highs in, and on this 60-minute time frame, it's just about done it on the 4-hourly time frame there as well. So again, erring on the bullish side. Again, but done quite a range today now already, and well, it may come back and correct towards that daily pivot, find a bit of support of the 34, and it'll be around that area. I'd consider looking at longs to see if we get a bit more of a retrace, a continuation rather. See how far this retracement comes, but so looking for that as a possible buy point. Okay, dollar yen. So dollar yen, we saw money running back into it and continuing this retracement here at the moment, and well, it's danced around a little bit today at the moment, but solid continuation, money running to safety here, most likely, and well, looking pretty solid in that respect at the moment. It is through its weekly S3 there. It may retrace back in towards the pivot at some point. The daily pivot's above, but it's, well, that may in itself provide some resistance around that area. As the monthly pivot and daily pivot may provide some resistance. At the moment, with this consolidation, it may not even get back there. If it starts rolling through the lows, the trend line across the lows there, it may just see a continuation of this movement for now. Certainly seems to be unease, as I said, around these markets. Okay, and Aussie dollar. The main thing is the huge yields that are starting to occur on the US bonds. So, okay, Aussie dollar. Again, yesterday sold off. Weakest of all of the pairings or many of the markets, at least. Anyway, it has managed to have a little counter bounce this morning, which may run into a little bit more, but it's soft. It may have a little bit more legs. Really feeling the knock-on effects of the Chinese markets really here to quite some extent, and the softening from that point of view could break through and continue upwards. It's not giving me a lot of excitement in that direction with all the other, sort of the pound and the euro looking like they might have some more, but if it starts selling off, well, yeah, I mean, this actually came back easiest yesterday, so it's daily pivot than anything else. The others, some missed them, but this came down. It just shows its weakness. If it does start rolling over, maybe yesterday's lows, and maybe even the S1 is a possibility there on the Aussie dollar. We'll keep an eye on that today. Maybe one of those rare days I trade it. There again. So Canadian dollar pitched upwards. Softer price of crude, dropped I think 2%. It's pushed up quite strongly here. Still in the big daily picture, it hasn't really broken the prior high there yet, but if it does, well, it really sends a different picture, or it starts making a different picture. It has, in the shorter term or intermediate term here, put higher lows, higher highs in, a bit of a wave formation there, then broken through, and well, may get a bit more of a correction, but may give it opportunities to buy from that. That's pretty much it. I will just flick onto oil just very briefly as I'm looking here. You see the price of oil slipping back a couple of dollars there. Having a little bit of a bounce at the moment. Has got an untouched daily pivot, which may draw it back up. We'll see what these markets do today, but it may pull up quite quickly towards that. But as I say, weakness across the markets. Looking forward to today in terms of news that's coming out. We've already had Carney speaking at the due to participate in a panel discussion on fintech. Well, that's already happened. We've got at 9:30 the Bank of England credit condition survey that could create a bit of volatility. Again, Carney's supposed to be speaking at 10 o'clock. Is a discussion called Scaling Up Green Finance. I'm not too sure that's really going to be hitting us too hard, but we'll see. You never know. May get a bit of volatility around that. There is a speaker also at 11:45 for the pound, which may create more volatility as global and domestic challenges for UK monetary policy. I think that might create some more volatility around about 11:45. But then at 12:30, we've got ECB monetary policy meeting accounts, minutes of those. So again, volatility could come around those, although last couple of months it's not been much. And then at 1:30 we've got the CPI, US CPI data, inflation data. Crude oil at 4 o'clock. So there are some factors coming out there. It's a bit later this week at 4 o'clock for crude oil, but there we are. So a bit later, but we see how it goes. Right, have a great day. Bye for now.